I'm back. Alright, well, as you know, I'm not scripting these. I'm going on the fly with these. I am just trying to, there's so much to cover, so many directions I could take it, step by step, and it's hard to actually discern which part I want to talk about next, right? As I'm presenting. So, bear with me on some of these. We may kind of go off here and there. We may, but it's always actually on point. I'm going to go to some subjects to basically reinforce points and to give analogies, examples, etc. So we're going to start where we left off, just to help the understanding of the concept that I was laying out about you being in a holographic universe. And a couple of things I want to stress at this point, or one thing I want to stress, and another thing I want to explain or further explain. And since I had used video game analogies, I'm a video game player, been playing video games since the very first Atari ever came out in like 1970. And or whenever it was, 76 or something, I don't remember. But anyway, so we're going to use some of that analogies to give you an idea. Now, like I said before, as far as gravity, as far as your world, as far as the material things you see, accepting and knowing that this is all energy around you, an energy matrix around you, is important and pertinent to the carrying forth of studies or life path understanding this, taking a life path with this understanding. Now that's the thing about this matrix and the way we create our own individual realities and at the same time co-create the common reality. When we're having this energy interaction that I was explaining in the last video, everything is an energy interaction, and it's all about getting that energy. Now, when we're young, we learn certain behavioral patterns in order to get attention, which is the focus of energy, from our parents, friends, peers, grandparents, etc., people, right? From the people around us. And this is what happens in everyday interaction between people, is an actual energy transference taking place. And you have people that give energy more than others. You have other people that take energy more than others. You have people that have these learned behaviors from childhood of ignorance, that a lot of them are habits. So many of them will be with them for lifetimes, unbreakable, unknowable, unfindable, because they're subconscious reaction, action, reaction, automatic responses that we get programmed with to learn to garner our energy, again, attention, from those around us as a child. And this carries forth into our adult life. Now, attention is the focus of energy. Now, you know how, if you've heard the saying, or maybe you've experienced yourself, when somebody's looking at you and you say they're behind you and you feel their eyes in your back, or right, and you turn around and somebody's looking at you, it's because you felt their touch of their energy as they focused their attention on you. If you're that sensitive, everybody is that sensitive. Whether they know it at the time or not is a different thing. That's kind of the point of what I'm talking about here in all these videos, is I want to get you aware of knowing these things. It brings to life a whole new adventure in your own lives, to know and be aware of the true interaction of this place we're in. And so knowing about this energy transfer is paramount. knowing how it works, understanding, again, attention is your focus. Intent and emotions are like control knobs on your energy that you're putting out. Okay, so your intent is going to decide what kind of energy you're broadcasting, or should I say the type of frequency that you're vibrating on. The wave band, so to speak. You've heard the saying, catch the wave, get off my wave. This is what we're talking about here. We're talking about a frequency wave. We're talking about, and this is how people equal up into the same realities as each other, is by getting in similar close frequency bands with each other, and then they will experience the same similar world together. Okay? I go into examples of, a good example I've always used since I was younger. If you have a traffic accident, and this is just kind of proof that everybody has their own idea, own perspective, and truly do live in their own little world. Say you have 5 witnesses at an intersection where an accident takes place, and the police officer goes around and individually interviews all 5 witnesses. From each witness, of course, not counting the vantage point type changes, or this guy may have a different story because he was standing over on that side of the street and he saw it a different way at that angle, etc. from this guy. I'm not talking about those type details are different. I'm talking about real, pertinent, extraordinary, I don't know the word for it, but outstanding details that can differ to degrees of extremity. You will get 5 different stories from those 5 witnesses of what happened. A couple of those stories, maybe even 4 out of the 5, will be very similar to each other. But maybe the 5th person, while everybody else is saying, no, that guy ran the red light, the 5th person saying, no, he didn't run the red light, it was the other guy that turned in front of him, or something like that, right? It'd be a totally different scenario. And it doesn't mean that that person's lying, or not being truthful, or delusional, or whatever. That is how that person witnessed what he saw in his reality. Okay? This is just a slight example. So I'm going to go back to the, because I want to make these halfway short. I mean, I could sit here and make podcasts for hours and hours talking about this stuff in all details of life. But I want to make these little videos short as I can, and I still have a couple main points I want to get to this. So say, again, I want to just reinforce what I was talking about before about the laws of the universe, because these laws are set. And although there are cheating ways to bend them, I don't know if this is going to play or not. I got to turn the sound down, though, either way, because it's playing in my ear. Okay. Stupid ads and stuff slow everything down on YouTube. So I'm in the gaming world. And in this gaming world, especially like Grand Theft Auto, well, all games nowadays, all these games, you have complete physics engines, okay, that create your gravity for your character. They create the difference between a bush that you can walk through or a solid rock wall that you'll go splat on. The directions, all these different objects are set with a code to either make them solid or, what is it? I don't know what word you would use, I'm sorry, for being able to go through something, but, not so solid, okay? You got water you can swim in, you run into the back of that car, you're going to go splat. Okay, and if you jump off a cliff, you're going to land on the ground because it's been drawn into the code or written into the code. See, here's an example of him flying into the car, whatever. Bounces off the car. The car is a solid object. He can't go through it. This is the same type of microcosm as you are in this world. I'm telling you. Okay, everything is written in a code. All these energy, the molecules, and even your DNA. It's a pre-written code that even when that creates who you are and what you are. Your whole DNA mapping and stuff. This is not by random, some big bang bullshit, or whatever type of crazy materialistic explanation they come up with. And your body, okay, this is the point I want to actually get to. You are not your body. You are not your brain. You are not your heart, necessarily. You are not your leg, arm, eyes, this, that, or nothing. Okay, these are the tools of interacting with this 3D reality. That's all they are. Now, modern science would have you believe that your brain is your consciousness and your awareness, and that you are somewhere inside your brain or whatever. You know what I mean? Or so the brain dies, you die, right? That's the concept that is put out there. And you die to this world temporarily, possibly, because obviously you can't use your keyboard, right? Your computer, you can't look through your screens if it's broken. So if your brain is smushed, the computer's broken, right? Okay. So, but I want you to understand, you yourself, it's just like if I was playing this video game. I am that character in the game. That character in the game is subject to all the laws of that game. And here we're getting to the point. All the laws of that game. That character is subject to the gravity of the game, which is a code written. He's subject to hitting a car, which is a code written. He is subject to, you understand where I'm going, alright? But you yourself are outside of that, and you are operating through that character to interact with that world, just like my character here is interacting through the computer or game system with his character to interact with this world. And even to the extent that this world is a 2D world that you're looking at here on the screen, right? But nowadays, with gaming the way it is, you have total 3D encapsulating environments, as you can see. You can literally go through city streets, walk through buildings, get into cars, drive them. I mean, everything is three-dimensional perceptively to your character in the game. Okay? Microcosm, macrocosm, same difference. Here we are. You are not your brain. This is your body, brain, and all that is simply a interface for you to experience this dimension and reality. Okay, now we have this complete understanding, I hope, so we can carry forth and carry on. I'm going to X-nay Mr. Biker Man there for a minute. Let my recorder catch up while I light up a toke off this cigar here, mini cigar. For those who may be curious, nowadays I smoke little Al Capone cigars. They're from Honduras. You can usually pick them up. Well, you can pick them up at random places. Some states don't have them at all. In fact, a lot of states don't. But here in Detroit, we're lucky enough to get them. And they're nice little cigars. I like them. And I smoke 3 or 4 of them a day. Take 3 or 4 hits and put them out. So, alright, segue over. Now we have that understanding of who you really are, what your awareness is, that your awareness is not your body. I want to bring up a point. to carry forth on that idea, people are afraid of death. Most people are scared of death. And I'm sure maybe, I don't know, at one time I might have been at a very young age. The first time I tried to kill myself, I was, what was I, 13? And the second time I died, I was in my 20s. Both times, before the actual, what you would consider death, you're taken out. I was taken out of my body. You're taken out of your body. If you go and listen to any of these reports of near-death, what they call near-death experiences, which are death experiences, when your freaking body is dead for 20 minutes, that means you're freaking dead. Okay, when they come back and they wake up in their body again, they call them near-death experiences. No, you were dead. Sorry to tell you, your body was dead. You will never die. Okay. And I'm not going down that road right now. That's just a blanket statement I'm putting out there. Okay. Where you go from here is a different story, but you yourself, your essence, your soul, your whatever you want to call your consciousness or your awareness, and whatever your belief system is, will never die. Okay. So you've heard all these people, they talk about, this happened, all of a sudden they were in a car accident or this and that, and next thing they knew, they was out of their body. Okay. I'm here to tell you, you will not experience your death, your actual death. Like you see on Hollywood, you see all this suffering and agony, and my entrails are all over the place, and I'm blah, 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 and all that. I'm not saying you can't suffer some hella injury, dude. That's not what I'm saying. You can suffer hella pain, hella injury, and be totally conscious and still in your body, etc., etc. I'm saying the moment before you check out, you're taken out. Okay? This is shown to you actually in the latest James Bond movie too. They talk about it in Spectre, and he makes a big deal out of it. And he talks about the guy that got his, the hitman that got his eyes poked out at the. I'm not trying to give any spoilers for those who haven't seen the movie, but I'm a big James Bond fan from way back, so I bought it on Xbox, and I got it on my console there, and I've watched it like 3 times. But anyway, he talks about how, did you notice, James, that when, right before he checked out, that he wasn't actually there. His consciousness was gone. This is true from my experience. The first time, I was missing 3 days of time. And when I woke up, when I came to conscious awareness, my body was already conscious and actually sitting at the dinner table talking to my parents when they put me back in my body. And I'm not sure if at that time I was in the same dimension, or what, and they put me back in that same body, or if the dimension shifted at that point in time and I just woke up in a new dimension in a new illusionary body. Okay, because these are bodies of light. You see it as a physical thing, but everything around you is light. You would not see anything without light. But I'm not trying to get on tangents. This is already getting kind of long. So, point is, get it back around to it. I'm trying to get back out of my own memories and experiences, because that always sidetracks me and gets me stupefied here for a minute and at a loss of words. So I'm gonna drop that. I just want you to understand what this is, what this matrix is, what you are, what energy is, how the energy interacts with each other, how this is all about interaction of energy. And we will talk more in future videos of intent and emotion and attention and the interaction, the habits, behavior patterns, all that. But first, to prepare for that and to get an understanding also. Now, some of you may know, and some of you may not know, that I have another channel called the Freemasonic Knowledge Channel. Okay, and on that channel I have read like 35 Freemasonry publications. Books straight from the Freemason lodges and Freemasonic authors and various typing, and I have many more to read, and I've just been slacking on it, and I'm sorry for those who have been waiting. Nevertheless, Masonic. What is sonic? We know sonic sound, right? Masonic. Ma, son. The son of Ma. Okay, what is Ma? Well, esoterically, Ma can be a couple of things, but let's just go with the Ma that we know, or that many of you actually don't know, but you should know. You're getting ready to know because I'm going to show it to you. Ma stands for Master of Arts. Okay? And the Master of Arts is the Mason, the Master Mason. And he, or is supposed to be. A lot of Masons don't live up to the to the hype nowadays. A lot of your Blue Lodge Masons are just in it for a social thing. But nevertheless, I'm not trying to backslide here and then get off on a tangent. Master of Arts in Western Esotericism. This particular one is what, this is the masterstudies.com, trusted by students, 2002. In Amsterdam, Netherlands. Okay, that's what I thought. This one's in Amsterdam. You have these institutions all over the place. You have here is the Master of Arts Blavatsky, and we'll get back to that in a second. I'm going to read some of that. Myth, Cosmology, and the Sacred. Okay, Canterbury Christ Church University. The interdisciplinary master's course draws on studies in psychology, anthropology, theology, esoteric philosophy, and a range of wisdom traditions in the arts. It offers a discerning investigation into seemingly non-rational modes of knowing, exploring, and cosmological sense of the sacred, the widespread practices of the symbol interpretation, and the cultural role of the creative imagination. Okay? People can sign up for these and stuff, or whatever, but here we have the Master of Arts course in Western Esotericism, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Exeter, UK. And is what this is. The new MA in Western Esotericism at the University of Exeter represents the first initiative in this subject at a UK university. The subject is already taught in the continental Europe and University of Amsterdam and at Sorbonne, and those emeritus professors in the history of esoteric and mystical currents. Antoine Favier established its disciplinary scope and methodology from the early 1970s onwards. Sorry, I'm not doing good at reading today. It's just one of those days. Exeter, Amsterdam, and the Sorbonne are presently the only universities offering. See, my freaking mouth won't work. Postgraduate courses or doctoral supervision in Western esotericism. The Western esoteric traditions reach back to Hermeticism, Platonism, Gnosticism, and Theology in the Hellenistic world during the first centuries AD. These early sources often reveal theosophia, wisdom or knowledge in the things divine attained through spiritual exercise, contemplation, and ecstasy. The early church fathers regarded such theosophy and gnosis ambivalently, and their variable reception in the Western and Eastern churches during the early and Middle Ages is now expanding the field of inquiry. The introduction of Greek, Arab, and Jewish traditions into the medieval Latin West paved the way for the rediscovery of ancient texts and led to the scholarly revival of magic, astrology, alchemy, and the Kabbalah in the Renaissance. After the Reformation, these Hermetic sciences gave rise to such movements as Theosophy, Rosicrucianism, and Freemasonry, with their proliferation of esoteric rites and symbolic systems in the 18th century. The modern revival of esotericism extends from romantic natural philosophy to 19th century occultism involving Swedenborgianism, mesmerism, spiritualism, and the ancient wisdom tradition and ceremonial magic paramasonic orders. Today, Helena Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society, Rudolf Steiner, and C.G. Jung and his archetypal psychology and fourth wave movements are among the major currents of modern esotericism, providing an inspiration in contemporary thinkers and practitioners in the arts, education, and medicine. Blah 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 blah. You can come check this out. I'll leave links. And so basically, I want to make this understanding for people, okay, of the Ma and the Master of Arts and what all this ties into, what it is all about. You can come, is all you got to do is look up Ma Esoteric Studies, Ma Esoteric Studies Degrees, Occult, Blavatsky Trust. It pays to know these things that these people are doing. Okay, I do not recommend that you involve yourself in this stuff, but I'm showing you this stuff for a reason, and it will come into play as these videos play out. And you need to know, because these people know this stuff that I'm going to tell you, and that I've been telling you. This is where they learn it, and that is what it means. Okay? These are the secrets, folks. The true secrets. Not talking fucking stupid shit like flat earth here. Sorry. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I did want to make one more point with that. Oh, I forgot it. Wow, I forgot what I was going to say. Alright, I don't know. I've run into a blank. So I will continue on in the next video. Thanks for joining me. I didn't finish this up because there was one important thought that I was going to finish. And, hold on a second. Okay, oh yeah, duh. One of the whole points of this video. People in Christ. People that consider yourselves Christian. To you, and that's part of the reason I showed you the Ma. To you, some of this stuff may seem new age that I'm going to talk about. One thing I want you to understand is that the new age is not new at all. The new age is the Ma. It is old age. The new age is nothing new. It is a revamp and modernization of ancient knowledges, and all they've done is take a few of the factors out, so you don't know the whole truth, but you know enough that they can use you. And we're going to get into that in future videos too, because there's a big part of this, what's going on here, and why they need control of your perception, your thoughts, your ideas, everything. There's, it's a creative thing, and they're using you to create their world. Anyway, we'll get into all that, and I want to let you know that this is not antichrist. This is not against any Christ teachings. It may be against the church for sure, because all churches are corrupt. All the established churches, every single one of them, Protestant, Catholic, any denomination of any religion whatsoever, is corrupt. Religion was created to capture the audience of Christ. Christ's audience, as far as the Christian religion, was created by the same people who hung his ass on the cross. Okay, people need to understand that. Christ did not go around. He did not have a job. He did not wheel and deal, and he wasn't into capitalism. He didn't. He wasn't a Jew, for one. Okay, he wasn't. He didn't follow Jewish traditions, and he was, if you believe the story, that he was actually the Son of God, and that was a super being that was given to a Virgin Mary, in other words, born of the Spirit, and by no man's dong, such as David's line, Joseph, and Jesus wasn't a Jew, folks. When they called him King of Jews, they were mocking him. They were being smart ass. People do not understand the scriptures because the churches have been lying to you, and lied and lied and lied about everything. What I will be telling you is exactly what Jesus taught you. What Jesus is teaching in the Bible, what his words truly mean. How do you think he performed miracles? Why do you think he told you if ye too had the faith? It's all, he was teaching people these same things, these same concepts of how the world, the universe that the Father has created works. And that's what it's all about. And that's what his teachings were about. It's not this crap they sell you in the churches. And so nothing I am going to go through in these videos, or in my Reality World series, or anything I've ever done for that matter, is against anything of Christ. I am a Gnostic follower of Christ. And when I say Gnostic, I mean knowing, because my knowledge is through experience, not through yes, I've done my studies. I've done countless research. I've done more research than 10 people could do, because I've been a very fortunate person. Even in my time and years in prison, I didn't waste my time. I read lots and lots of books. Learned a lot. I've spent many years studying this stuff, even long before I came to the internet, and trying to figure out and explain my own personal experiences. And so, with that, I'm sure this has gone way over time. Thank you for joining me. I'll try to make the next videos shorter and more to the point. But these were important points that I needed to cover in this video. Alright.